Brand new stakes have emerged in SMU showdown with Cal this season because there's some people who think Jaren-Keawe Sagapolutele is the QB2 in the ACC and not Kevin Jennings.
You are Locked On SMU, your daily podcast on the SMU Mustangs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Locked On SMU on this Thursday edition of the show. I'm Grayson Singleton. Thanks so much for tapping in with us today. Make sure, before we go any further, subscribe to the channel as well. We got a goal to get us to 1,000 before the start of football season, so it'll really help me out and help us out as well. Coming up on the show today, okay, we talked about on the ACC squad, Monster Energy now being the sponsorship for the Big 12. What does this mean for the ACC? And also, what could this mean for the future of SMU's uniforms as well? So let's talk about that in the second segment. Plus, I'm going to give you a couple of commits to watch and why for SMU as those guys go into their senior season as well. So put a little bit more positivity into the recruiting conversation. Again, I'm Grayson Singleton. By the way, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The biggest stage in world soccer is here. Let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. And let's jump right in now to this SMU Cal game. One of the games on the schedule that I am looking forward to, and it's got a bunch of brand new stakes. Because I look at On3's list of ACC quarterback rankings. I look at Yahoo Sports' list of ACC quarterback rankings, and there is a conspicuous agreement between those two. QB2 is Jaren-Keawe Sagapolutele, the quarterback for the California Golden Bears, and not Kevin Jennings, the quarterback for SMU, which is interesting because here's what I don't want to do with this. I don't want to take this the direction of, oh my God, Kevin Jennings is being underappreciated or underrated or disrespected. Like, JKS is a solid quarterback. The lefty can sling it, man. He's a good player. He takes care of the football. He distributes to all levels of the field and all areas of the field as well. I like JKS a lot. I did not think that after 1 year, people would be so high on him that he would be QB2 in the league. But nevertheless, guess what we get to be able to do? Guess what we get to be able to do? We get to go out there and settle that bad boy on the field. And look, one team might win, and that guy may not play, as good. He may not outplay his counterpart on the other end. Like, that is all too possible. But I do like that, we're going to get to see these guys on the field. What's interesting about this comparison between the two is that JKS is coming off of a freshman year where he lit it up completely to the point where we can't deny that he's a great, excellent talent. And Kevin Jennings is coming off of a year where he was hampered by a bad leg. And what that bad leg did was that it eliminated part of Kevin's best qualities, which is his mobility. So there was a piece of Kevin that just wasn't there. And you combine it with the fact that he had a propensity to turn the ball over at an uncomfortable level, you can kind of see why. JKS last year completed 64% of his passes for basically 3,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 9 picks. Now, the 18 touchdowns, 9 picks isn't going to really blow anybody away. He had a QBR that was 72nd in the country. Kevin Jennings, by the way, was 34th. But he also accounted for 4 more touchdowns on the ground. Look, JKS had a solid freshman year. But here's what I'm looking at going into this year. Going into this year, I would have Kevin ahead of JKS for this reason and this reason alone. Number one, better team success. He's one of the winningest quarterbacks that is active in college football. That's number one. He took over in the 2024 season and then ran the ACC gauntlet, got to the college football playoff. That's got to count for something. That has to count for something. And that's not to downplay JKS, who's only had 1 year, probably not as much talent as Kevin Jennings has, but Kevin has the edge when it comes to just an overall body of work. Number two, believe it or not, outside of the interceptions, Kevin Jennings has JKS in every statistical category. Completion percentage, KJ. Passing yards, KJ. Average passing yards per attempt, KJ. Touchdowns, KJ. As a matter of fact, their touchdown to interception ratio is identical. 18-9 for JKS, that's 2-1. 26-13 for Jennings, that's 2-1. And Kevin is better as a runner as well. JKS is not a factor in the running game. He's not. Whereas a healthy Kevin Jennings is. So I think when you look at body of work, when you look at raw numbers, and when you look at how the guys translate to winning, I think Kevin Jennings sweeps all three of those. The allure for JKS, I think, is what he can be in the future, which he can be a really cold quarterback, really cold. Man, I love him. But there's something about, he hasn't won a lot of games yet, which is fine. It's not, it's not a demerit on what he can be in the future. He also is, more or less a statuesque quarterback in the pocket. So I get a limit. I have some athletic limitations there. And in this day and age, I like my quarterbacks to be able to move a little bit. I like the fact that Kevin can move. I like the fact that he can improvise. And if he cuts down on the turnovers, I don't think there's any way, shape, or form that we can say that JKS is better than KJ. Right now, JKS takes better care of the football. Not by much, though. Not by much. But he's taken better care of the football. Granted, he threw more passes than Jennings did this past year. So that has to count for something. Lower interception percentage. But if Kevin just does what he's supposed to do, keep getting better in terms of that completion percentage, keep the average yards per attempt up, because 8 yards per pass attempt is a pretty nice figure. Throw more touchdowns, throw a few more picks, and then get back to moving with the football. Kevin Jennings is at worst quarterback 2 in the ACC. At worst. But if the season goes how we think it's going to go, he will take his shot at the preseason number 2, and he will take his shot at the preseason number 1 Darian Mensah. Because if things go how we think they're going to go, Miami and SMU look to be on a collision course for the ACC championship game. So he will get a chance to knock off JKS at Cal, and he will get the chance potentially to knock off Darian Mensah and Miami in the ACC title game, if all goes to plan. So regardless of what the rankings say right now, and nobody has Kevin outside of the top 3, I think that would be ludicrous if that was to happen. That would be absolutely insane. I don't think there are 3 quarterbacks in the ACC better than Kevin Jennings. You can talk me into 2. And I'm certainly of the mindset that he is number 2. But if he just does his thing, if he takes care of his business, he'll have a shot at both 1 and 2. And that's all you can hope for. And if you're Kevin Jennings, your focus should be continue to improve upon my accuracy, which is already very good because he's completing 2/3 of his passes. Continue to throw in the mid 3,000s to upper 3,000s, see if we can get to 4. Distribute the ball to my array of weapons that I'm going to have, including a 25-year-old wide receiver that we just added. Cut down on the turnovers, make some plays with my athleticism, and put myself in the conversation as a Heisman dark horse. If you're Kevin Jennings and you do that and you continue to do what you have done best, which is win football games, Kevin Jennings will have the last say in some of these rankings. He will be able to talk his stuff at the end of the year when it comes to these rankings as to who might be the best quarterback in the ACC. I have him at 2 right now. Some people have him at 3. That's fair. I think that's all fair. You have him any lower than 3, we're going to have some questions about you. But he'll have his shot at 1 and 2. And that's all you hope for as a competitor and as an athlete. Coming up next on Locked On SMU, let's talk jersey patches. Let's talk sponsorships. Let's talk the future of business in college football. Would you guys want to see a patch on SMU's jersey? And if who would it be and who makes the most sense? We'll talk about it on the other side. Locked On SMU after this. But first, I got to tell you about our friends at FanDuel. The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every match feels like it has the potential for a memorable moment. One goal can completely shift the energy of a game, shift momentum, and alter the outcome in an instant. That's what makes tournament soccer so exciting, from the opening whistle all the way to the final kick. Now, FanDuel is giving fans another reason to stay locked into every match with every goal pays. Bet on a match, get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. More goals means more bonus bets. All you have to do is turn on your token. And man, think back to that Argentina-Egypt game from Tuesday, right? Egypt goes up 2-0. That's already a couple of goals right there. Looks like the Argentinians are dead in the water, and then here they come in the final 23 minutes, scoring 3 goals to pull off the stunning comeback. That's 5 goals in one soccer game. That means bonus bets galore for you, which means you get to benefit from every goal scored, including those high-scoring matches. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com now to get started today. Welcome back to the show. Grayson Singleton here on Locked On SMU. Hey, you guys know the drill. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this place for SMU opinion and analysis. We are the best place for SMU opinion and analysis every single day on the Locked On Podcast Network. So give us a subscribe, give us a like as well. Really help us out in this channel as well. Okay, so let's talk jersey patches. And on the ACC Squad Show, which, by the way, I should remind you, check out the ACC Squad Show this week, dropping later today, by the way. I'm on it this week with Kitten, JJ, and Brian. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun on that show, so make sure you guys check that out this afternoon. But on the show, we talked about the Big 12 and their partnership with Monster and what could the ACC do with that. And I have a question is, do you want SMU to do that? And the answer should be an unequivocal yes. An unequivocal yes. It should be a hell yeah, we want SMU to do that. Because right now you are in the midst of an arms race, right? You're in the midst of an arms race to try to see who can raise the most money. It's fundraising at the most bananas level on planet Earth. We teach our kids to fundraise, we're going to fundraise for this mission trip or fundraise for this vacation or fundraise for, X, Y, and Z. And, lo and behold, here we are still fundraising at the college football level. Anyway, the answer should be yes. You should want SMU to have a jersey sponsor. You should want SMU to be sponsored by somebody because it just generates more and more revenue that you can reinvest back into your programs. And ultimately, maybe get you some better players, continue to have continuity of the coaching staff, continue to upgrade those facilities, and really position yourself the best way possible to compete on the highest level. And it's not as if Dallas has any shortage of companies that could fund SMU. Let's just start right off the bat with AT&T. Now, an AT&T sponsorship would probably put you more in cahoots with the Cowboys and with Jerry Jones. So if you want to do that, cool. I mean, we're already going to be playing Oklahoma and LSU in 2027 and 2029 at Cowboy Stadium. So, I mean, why not full send? I can see it. But an AT&T logo, I mean, that puts you with one of the better companies that are on a jersey logo. Now, I don't know if AT&T would go for it, but you see what I'm saying. American Airlines has corporate headquarters in DFW, so does Frito-Lay. I'm looking through this list right now. You probably don't want Dave & Buster's. That would look a little goofy. Even though you could brand yourself as very family friendly in that regard. Hotels.com, that'd be funny. Match.com would be even funnier. But I'm just scrolling through a list on Wikipedia right now of companies that are headquartered in Dallas. You've got an opportunity here. Obviously, if you could do AT&T or American Airlines already has the partnership with the Dallas Mavericks with the AAC. So that would put you in a nice little relationship there. I think the opportunities being in Dallas are endless. And this is part of the reason why you sell SMU as Dallas's team, because the opportunities for business ventures abounds. A lot of people moving their businesses to Texas because of the lower taxes. That you can leverage that to your benefit in some way, shape, or form. But here's where I really get tired of these discussions. College football fans are some of the more traditionalist people that I interact with on a day-to-day basis. And to some degree, that is a good thing. Tradition is good, but you can't become so entrenched with tradition that you lose sight of what's going on in the present. And look, people will say, oh, we don't want to mess up our traditional uniforms. Tradition be damned in this discussion. I mean, hell, the tradition of SMU gets bisected by the death penalty. So if you really want to uphold the tradition, what are you actually upholding? If that is the way you think, if that's the way your thinking goes on this issue with SMU, do we really want to uphold that tradition? I would say it'd probably be best to leave that in the past. Just my thought. But I do think this is the new world. I think this is the new world of college athletics. Now, do I think we're going to get to a place where we've got these giant like logos across the midsection like they do in the MLS or like the WNBA? I would have to be convinced that we're getting to that place. I don't know if we are going to necessarily be doing that, right? So with that in mind, I'm okay with it. Like, I have no qualms with it at all. I think this is going to look something similar to what you see in the NBA, right? Like, the Dallas Mavericks have a nice little chime logo, and it looks fine. It doesn't stand out. It's not striking. It's not like, holy crap, there's the sponsorship logo. Most of the teams in the NBA don't have that. And I do believe that that is the direction we're going in college football. I think we're going to go somewhere in that direction where you're going to have a nice little patch. You're going to be able to tell who the company is. It's not going to be abrasive. It's not going to be jarring on television. And I think it's going to be just fine. I honestly think, and look, I'm a guy that embraces change. That's just in my nature. That's how I roll. That's how I think. And I think we're going to be just fine. I think we'll be just fine in that regard, if that's the direction we choose to go. Now, the conference. The conference is an interesting discussion. Should the ACC do this? And I believe the answer, again, is an absolute yes. Now, I don't know who that's going to be. Do you want to do it with Monster, which is a company that has kind of been synonymous with people drinking too much of it and suffering some kind of, health issues? Okay, maybe not, but also Monster is also very on brand for the Big 12 because they also have hitched their brand to the WWE. So at that point, all bets are off for anything wild. Now, I think the ACC could find a very good, appropriate sponsorship, depending on how you want to brand yourself. The Big 12 has branded itself as this company that wants to appeal to degenerates and younger people. And I know degenerate has a negative connotation, and I kind of mean that negative, but not really, right? I mean, all of us have degenerate friends. I've got quite a few of them that I talk to on a semi-daily basis, okay? So we all know those types of people. And I think the Big 12 wants to appeal to that just because the traditional old school Southern college football fan, they're all in the SEC now. So the Big 12 should not be trying to cater to those people. Who does the ACC want to cater to? Is an interesting question. Do you want to cater to coastal elites? Do you want to cater toward the beach? Do you want, you've now got Dallas. They literally are the all-coast conference. And then you've also got Dallas in the middle of it too. So who are you catering to is going to be the question that they have to answer for themselves in terms of who they choose to have as their presenting sponsor. It will not be Monster. I do not think it will be anything along the lines even close to Monster. I think that's the Big 12's thing. But I would not be shocked if Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, to kick off the ACC kickoff, no pun intended, reveals a sponsorship. And I think it's a smart move. I think it's a smart move to generate revenue. I hope they get a better deal than the Big 12 did, because a deal that would only give the schools an additional $1.2 million, that's chump change. So I would hope they could get a better deal. They have the historical lineages of Florida State and Miami with the come up of Clemson. Now you've got the Dallas market with SMU. You've got the California markets with Stanford and Cal. Like, they have some things to work with here. They're not, it's not completely barren in terms of things they can work with, but I think they've got to do it. And I think it's a smart move to be able to do it and continue to just flow into the future when it comes to the business side of college football. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I always read the comments. You might be an inspiration to a segment, so let me know down below. Coming up next, one more segment. I'm going to give you 2 SMU commits that you should be excited to watch in their senior year of high school on the other side to close up the show next. Let's keep talking business here for a second, because running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. You've got one app for accounting, another for inventory, and another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. That's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place, helping your team move faster, stay organized, and focus on growing the business instead of managing software. The best organizations know that success isn't just about talent. It's about having everyone work together toward the same goal, and that's true in sports just like it is in business. And I think about that Belgium team that defeated the U.S. in the World Cup. They accumulated a roster of crazy talent, but they had dudes like Lukaku coming off the bench as a substitute. They had another guy who plays in the Premier League coming off the bench as a substitute. Talk about an organization getting everyone to pull in the same direction with their lineup decisions. It's not just one great player or coach. It was a coordinated effort across the entire organization that made it successful. Great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Try for free today at odoo.com/lockedon. That's Odoo, ODOO.com/lockedon. All right, one final time here on the program today, Locked On SMU. Grayson Singleton, thanks so much for tapping in with us today. Hit me on social media. I love to interact with all of you guys. Drop a comment down below as well. We did an episode yesterday inspired by comments. So drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, let's talk recruiting. And yesterday's episode, if you missed it, by the way, go back to Wednesday's episode. The thumbnail reads recruiting crisis on it. So yesterday's episode in recruiting was a little bit negative, but I want to put a positive spin on the recruiting conversation here because I've got 2 SMU commits in the class of 2027 that you should really, really watch this year as their senior year. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye out for their first 4 games of tape. Usually Cats will start putting out tape, senior tape, around the beginning to the middle part of October. So there's some cats that I think that you should be watching. And I'm going to start with the more inconspicuous one and then go to an obvious one. The inconspicuous one, I think, is 3-star offensive lineman Quay Ford from Texarkana, Texas High School in Texarkana, Texas. This dude is nasty. He is massive as well. 6'5", about 330. Now, right now, he plays tackle for Texarkana, for Texas High. He is a left tackle. We have referred to him, and if you are thrown for a loop there, you are correct to be so, because we have referred to him as an interior offensive lineman. That is where he projects. He projects as an interior offensive lineman at the next level. His arms are a little bit short to be a tackle, and yes, that matters to me, especially after seeing Will Campbell get his ass handed to him in the Super Bowl. Short arms kind of matters to me at this point. So he's got a little bit shorter arms, not ideal, not T-Rex arms. Like he's not Will Campbell, but a little bit on the shorter side. And at 335 right now, like that projects to interior offensive lineman, and I think he's going to be a damn good one because this dude will maul you. He can maul you once he gets engaged with you. He is not backing off. You are going backwards. I think with a little bit of coaching on his pad level, boy, this cat's going to be solid, man. But he is still playing tackle. And there are some translatable traits between tackle and interior. He has really good feet for his size. He is really good moving around in space. And again, whether you're a tackle or whether you're a guard, if I latch onto you and you're not going anywhere, that's a big deal. So Quay Ford is going to be interesting because I want to see how he continues to technically develop. I want to see how, if that pad level can drop a little bit. And I want to see if he can have more translatable tape that I can say, yep, this guy's going to translate from tackle in high school to a really good guard in college, because that's where he's projecting right now. Even On3 Rivals has him listed as an interior offensive lineman. So it seems like everybody is on the same opinion that this guy is going to be a guard at the next level. So that's number one. Quay Ford, the 3-star lineman from Texas High School in Texarkana. By the way, one more thing on Quay Ford. Quay Ford has bounced between being a 4-star and a 3-star, which makes it that senior tape even more interesting to see if he can hop back into that 4-star range and maybe even solidify himself in that range too. This guy is a 4-star, and he is the quarterback from Benton, Louisiana. Malachi Ziegler. Malachi Ziegler, we have not broken him down in a minute. And on his junior tape, Malachi Ziegler possesses a big arm. He possesses the ability to move. I love the kid. Love the kid. I had a buddy of mine, before I interviewed him on the show, I had a buddy of mine that I do radio with every day in Norman, and he said, you're going to love the kid, and he did not disappoint. Malachi Ziegler is going to be a fun cat to have around at SMU. He does possess a little bit of mechanical deficiencies right now. Most big arm quarterbacks at that age do, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I do want to see if some of the mechanical things have been cleaned up from the junior year to the senior year. They won't be perfect, but that'll give him time to get in the lab with De'Aaron King and be able to make some tweaks there once he gets to SMU. But I do want to see if some of the mechanical stuff is cleaned up. I want to continue to see mobility, and I want to see him, just continue to be accurate with the football and continue to lead. I see that he's got a big arm. He can throw the deep ball. I want to see, can he throw to all levels of the field accurately? Can he throw to all areas of the field, inside and outside of the numbers? And continue to showcase that athleticism. That's what I want to continue to see from Malachi Ziegler. And just to make sure, because remember, you only take one. You only take one quarterback in every class. And I know they have Buck Randall committed. Buck Randall does not project to really be a starting quarterback at the ACC level. But you got to make sure you're taking the right one. I do believe they're taking the right one, and I want to see if that senior tape continues to solidify that for us, for the quarterback. So, Quay Ford, 3-star interior offensive lineman projection from Texas High School in Texarkana, and Malachi Ziegler, 4-star quarterback, Benton, Louisiana, are the two that I would say keep an eye out for their senior tape heading into their senior year. All right, that'll do it for Locked On SMU here today on this Thursday. Appreciate you guys tapping in with me and making us your first listen of the day. For your second listen of the day, we're going to send you on YouTube to our 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel, and on audio, make sure you tap in with Locked On College Basketball as your second listen. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.